ESPN Fantasy Football is the #1 fantasy game. With the season right around the corner, download ESPN Fantasy app to play or sign up now and get your league started at espn.com/fantasyfootball. Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold were each playing for their 4th NFL franchise last season, and both of those dudes balled out. Mayfield ranked 3rd in passing yards and 2nd in passing touchdowns while leading the Bucs to the playoffs. And Sam Darnold ranked 5th in both passing yards and touchdowns, and he had the 3rd best record of any quarterback. Our very own Seth Wickersham explored the pattern of quarterbacks capitalizing on second chances.
Baker delivers the ball. Darnold to the end zone. Touchdown! I said I woke up feeling dangerous, son.
It seems to happen every year. A quarterback, once highly touted and then cast off and labeled as a bust, reemerges with a new team and becomes a new kind of promise.
I want to go somewhere that we can win right away, and this is that place.
Think Geno Smith, or Sam Darnold, or even Baker Mayfield.
Mayfield throws toward the end zone. Receiver caught, ball, touchdown, Tampa Bay. A great throw by Baker Mayfield.
Today's NFL operates on a whole economy of second-chance quarterbacks. They might not be destined for the Hall of Fame, but they have fought and sacrificed and earned their place in a league that loves to label guys and is always quick to move on. And it's not a new phenomenon. Jim Plunkett was the top overall pick by the lowly Patriots in 1970. He spent the early part of his career running for his life and was sacked 133 times in his first 4 seasons. Years later, when nobody else wanted him, Al Davis and the Raiders saw in him the kind of experience that only comes with scars. They signed him on the cheap and won 2 Super Bowls with him.
Just win, baby.
If a guy doesn't work out right away, even if he's in an unmistakably bad situation, there's a tendency to write him off forever.
They wrote me off. I ain't right back, though. That's the problem. I ain't right back. Let's go.
But second-chance quarterbacks remind us that the state of the team matters as much as the depth of the player's talent. Jack and John Elway knew this when they refused to be drafted by the Colts in 1983.
You've been telling me for 3 months that I'm not going to play in Baltimore, and I know for a fact you've been offered 3 ones and a quarterback, and you turned that down. And right now you have nothing.
Carl and Caleb Williams thought long and hard about it when they considered what it would mean to begin a career in Chicago. Look at the organizations with systemic failures at quarterback. The Jets, the Browns, the Bears, the Titans. Did we say the Jets?
It's obvious to me right now that the Jets just don't understand what the draft's all about.
But don't just look at their quarterback. Look at their whole situation. Ownership matters. Coaching matters. If a seeming cast-off can manage to find a way to hang on, to land with a good team and even sit on the bench and learn from a great coach, like Smith did as a Seahawk, Mayfield did as a Ram, and Darnold did as a 49er and Viking, he can oftentimes play and produce at a high level. Who knows who it'll be this year? Maybe Justin Fields or Daniel Jones.
I understand this league and how it works, and you've got to perform at a high level week in and week out.
But they're important stories too, guys worth watching, because they reveal how the game really works, how the parts of it fit together, and what happens when they don't.
We're joined by Seth Wickersham, man. You know, in order to have a second chance, that means the first one didn't work out. Seth, why do you think teams are so impatient when it comes to quarterbacks?
Well, really quick, I know it's a big day for tight ends, but Travis Kelce, high school quarterback.
Yeah. Hey, I tell you what.
I think there's other news as well.
I think that context matters. And as much as we like to pretend that it doesn't, it really does. And just what we said in that piece, like, stability matters. And as few quarterbacks are good in the NFL and as few become great, there are about the same number of coaches who know offense and know how to coach the position and know how to scout it. And I think that, like, we forget, we're so quick to write these guys off as busts when they're in systemic problems. And again, if they can go to a team and learn from a really good coach and get a little bit of a reset, I think that, like, there's an entire economy that's proven that's like a place for these second chance guys.
Yeah, I think one of the points that Seth makes is, like, this is not being disrespectful, but I just don't think a lot of people know how to truly coach the position, you know, and truly understand the tax that's on those guys. And one of the things, RC, is all those guys you kind of talked about are big-time early draft picks.
Yeah.
So there's talent there. Why did they make it at the second spot? Number one, they don't allow that first failure to break them. I think doubt becomes a very real thing for those young players. And, you know, a lot of guys cave to it as maybe I can't play. Maybe I don't belong. And so those guys like a Baker Mayfield dude that never allowed that to become a part of his life, doubt never became the thing that was overwhelming. And so he constantly got better and constantly improved because he believed in himself. And then I think Seth hit it on the head. Is like where you go is a huge part of that. I mean, you got these guys, these players all had better coaching, better situations, better support, better players around you. And so there was always the talent. I say this all the time. One of the mistakes when drafting and evaluating quarterbacks is you don't look at the bad stuff. And if you don't go get rid of the bad stuff of these quarterbacks coming out of college, the good stuff will never consistently show up. And I think a lot of teams like run from that. A lot of evaluators and coaches run from that because they're scared of it and they think it's not real.
Yeah, you know, Seth, these guys, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Geno Smith, they aren't the only guys that failed at their first chance. And not all of them get an opportunity to make that second chance work. What do you think it is about some of these individuals, some of those characteristics that allow them to shine eventually?
I mean, it's exactly what Dan said. They didn't get broken. And I think that, like, that matters so much. And so whatever that rigorous resilience that they have within them, that self-confidence, that they were allowed to take a step back, understand, number one, that there were organizational issues, but number two, maybe there's things they need to get better with. Yeah. And they go to a place like Sam Darnold did when he went to San Francisco and learn from some of the best coaches. I think that, like, you can speak to it, but I think the game slows down when you get that second chance.
Yeah, and I think a big part of it, too, is, like, there is a reality. You got to catch a break. You got to catch a little bit of a break. You know, you got to go to the coach. Also, going to a coach or a place that after you fall flat on your face, having a coach and organization, GM, pick you and be like, nope, I still think you're going to be good. Yeah. I still believe that you have the talent to be a starter in this league, like Sam in San Francisco, like Baker at Carolina, and then at Sean McVay, like Geno. We sat with Pete Carroll when he handed over the keys to Geno, essentially, and he was like, he's got it. Geno Smith's going to be our guy.
I think it also matters, though, when coaches don't care how you got there. Yeah. Right? So many times it's like, I didn't draft this guy. He wasn't my dude. It's about having the opportunity. And without the opportunity, whether you're Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, or Geno Smith, you don't get to have that turnaround that we've seen these guys have. Seth Wickersham's American Kings, a biography of the quarterback, is available for pre-order now wherever books are sold. Appreciate yourself. Thank you so much. Now, still to come, apparently Jalen Milroe is too good to keep on the pine. So will we see, or when will we see the newest Seahawk will we see the Seahawks soaring higher than expected and sooner? D. Wood explains why defenses may be in trouble if that's the case.